Helps if I unmute myself on the Discord. Ha! Just causing all manner of trouble. You know, I spend 10 minutes in the tunnel thinking I've got everything all together, and then I come right back here and I just... Oh, hi.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, well, I'll deal with it.
Mhm.
Hi, folks. Let's try that again from the top. Welcome back to RELICS Tower of Babble. I am Matt, the Killer G. I'm glad as always to have you all here with us. I have he, him pronouns, portray a wide variety of people, places, things, and even sometimes metaphysical concepts in this weird fallen world that we find ourselves in. But as noted before, that is more than enough of my shenanigans. So let's talk to our wonderful, wonderful cast, get a feel for where they're at today, and maybe see what kind of shenanigans they're going to get up to. So let's get started with Obi. How you doing today, friend, and who are you playing?
Well, thank you for asking. I am doing just fine, and today I will be playing the Auditor, a fine, fair angel of Nesher, responsible for the gift of anxiety, and recently owner of a concerningly strange weapon.
Oh, it's fine. It's not like it, shoots souls or anything.
Yeah. Not too
fine.
concerning. Just, yeah.
We'll get
Just your average everyday obsidian weapon, just casually lying on the street. Like, yeah. nothing to be concerned over.
Things you pick up, right? Cadence, how are you doing? And who are you playing today?
I am still alive. Yep, that's what I'm going with this week. I am playing Irin. Irin. Yeah. Oh, it's been a week. A wonderful Arya angel who is supposed to be watching, considering her herald is Sandalphon, but likes to stir the pot a bit, if you will.
Yeah, stirring the pot, maybe in the form of a little protest, a little riot, just a couple nudges and pushes here and there.
Just keep things interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting is certainly a way we can put that. Last but not the least, somebody who definitely doesn't mind a little bit of excitement in life. Kev, how you doing? Who are you playing today?
Hi, everybody. And hi, everybody in the crew, but glad to be back for another session of Relics. I'm Kevin in the Kevin or Keikudo, you can call me, in the TTRPG space. And today I'll be playing Asmodeus, our lovely little deal-making angel who doesn't mind, hitting up a demon or two and perhaps getting a deal in the works. I mean, everyone's always on about a deal with the devil, but what's so bad about a deal with an angel, How bad can it really be if we actually go across the plains, step across that little aisle between heaven and hell? I mean, come on. How bad can it really get? But yeah, we're things are already going great. We had some fire rain down, and at a bit of an impasse with some people trying to kill us last we left off, I think. But yeah, we'll work through it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of business. Those of you who are quite astute in your insights and such will note that we are short one of our angels this week. Jamaica Spleeze, who plays the fiery angel Rigon, is taking some much needed rest. We do miss them and hope that they make a swift recovery and we see them again hale and hearty and ready to smite the sinful this next week. Otherwise, that is us. Let's get back to our angels. as we have very well elucidated last time, our angels realized that the presence of God had left the earth, causing quite a bit of consternation, not just among them, but among mortals and other supernatural beings. They began to conduct their business, and in the doing ran into each other after a protest provoked by Irin sparked and clashed into a riot, incensed further by Rigon summoning down fire from the sky. The angels conflicted about what to do next. They were accosted by a figure wielding an obsidian revolver. They were able to chase them down, but they vanished, leaving behind the relic. And it is not a few minutes later that we pick back up with our band. Rigon mentioned something about needing to go tend to the flock, and leaps and bounds across the roofs away towards whatever passes for his people in this age. What do you decide to do, Heavenly Host?
We still have the body of this individual who shot at us, right? It's still within the vicinity?
No, they teleported away.
Okay. Well,
I do
well,
believe
like,
last Auditor dry fired this weapon as a test. There's a certain hunger they felt from it.
Mm-hmm. Was indeed a hunger.
It wants something, and I think like he'll kind of like hold it up a little bit, like look at it again. This Asmodeus, do you keep bullets on you?
I might have some in my office with the emergency firearms that I keep just in case, but not on my person, no.
Fantastic. We'll need to go there. This needs to be examined in greater detail.
Perhaps we can find another one of our flock roaming about who might know of the origins of this obsidian weapon.
3 is bad enough. Why do you want 4?
Would you have any ideas there, Irin?
I'm just perplexed by the whole thing. You'd think that if he had a weapon that's powerful, he would have hung on to it while he teleported away. Makes you wonder if he meant for us to have it.
Interesting hypothesis.
Maybe it wasn't his either.
Mm-hmm. That is true as well.
Good guess. Matt, looking over the Bible that I had earlier, or at least what I skimmed through, was there any mention of weapons of obsidian, that and their relevance in the coming of the end times, or if angels use them?
Not in the Bible that you're able to once over, but like one thing you are particularly keenly aware of is like a lot of humanity's religions, like they have a couple things that they're kind of building off of, and they're like half right on those, but most of the stuff that they're throwing in there is like whatever kind of worked for them for the most part. um like Revelation, yeah, there's a couple pertinent bits about, meeting angels, and maybe there might have been some form of vision that was granted to John of Patmos, but a lot of it is just him writing down his big mushroom trip. So
Hmm.
Plus, some spicy complaints against the emperor at the time.
I mean, that's that I was gonna say that's pretty much like de rigueur though for a lot of religious texts. It's like, this is the things we want to do. This is the thing the demons won't let us do. Demons in this case being whatever the ruling power was at the time.
Ah.
Perhaps examining this weapon and seeing what else it can do might be the best choice for now. Unless we come
What-
across someone else who would know more of it.
Well, the authorities today seem to don't have their wits about them with, with heaven raining fire and the riots going on. Perhaps we can stop by the local law enforcement office and mayhaps look through use their tools of investigation to pry further into the meaning of this weapon and perhaps identify its original owner specifically.
A decent point. And a good opportunity to see how well they've managed their records and record keeping. Perhaps an opportunity to improve upon that. Like he kind of like carefully like tucks a revolver like under one of his arms, starts like writing down notes again. That's something to deal with later, most likely.
Auditor.
Yes.
I just can't help but feel the slightest bit anxious with an individual like yourself holding on to it. I know it is unarmed, it is unloaded, but I just have at least some reservations. And an unloaded weapon is still quite deadly. I think in my hands it might be more responsibly kept away, and should we find ammunition, then I'll be rest assured that should I see the opportunity, you'll get no hesitation from me.
I've already test fired it. It hungers, whether for its previous ammunition or for something else, I am not entirely certain, but even if I were inclined to fire it, it would not go off. There is no problem.
I see. Well, just if things get hairy and you don't see yourself with the willpower enough to do what needs to be done with it, then by all means hand it off to me, and I will gladly bear the burden.
I'm sure. Anyway, I believe we have a police station to investigate.
That we do.
So you're just gonna
And,
head for the nearest precinct? Sorry?
Before we do, I want to go to the nearest cop body that was fried, and I want to see if I can salvage some keys for the station.
Okay, yeah, that's actually a really good question as to whether or not anything of note would have or anything of use would have survived off of them. So let's go ahead and see about that.
Come on.
Oh gosh, what does that
Loot
come?
the
What is that gonna?
bodies.
It is indeed a loot the bodies. So that feels like a search potentially under knowing.
That seems right. Feels right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we gonna do that straight, or do you want to try and pull out a memory, Asmodeus?
Let's do that straight.
All right.
See what we get.
Words you never expect to hear during Pride Month. The 8 of coins.
Oh, the art looks foreboding. I hope it.
It is an 8, which makes it a grudging success, actually. So,
Okay.
you're gonna find some keys. That's fine. However, what's going to happen is as you are doing that, another police car is going to come screaming up. And like the driver's side door flies open. Freeze!
And then I'll sort of get the hands up, and I'm gonna try to see if I can, like, sleight of hand have the keys fall down my sleeve, so it doesn't look like I pickpocketed the guy.
Okay. So that's a sleight of hand. That's a thing. Probably. I feel like that's Yeah, that's moving. That's a moving thing.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Do we want to do this draw natural or
Au naturel. That's
au natural? Got
come
it.
on.
It's dangerous out here.
The
I
card's giving me
know.
a grudging success. Let's give
The 6 of staves. Staves, we says. So a 6 is not a success. That is in fact a failure.
all right.
So
We'll roll with it.
yeah. So what I would expect happens in this case is you try to like artfully drop the keys down your sleeve, and you just drop them on the ground. You've got your hands up, and
Yeah.
passenger door flies open. Out comes the cop's partner. Basically got the zip tie cuffs ready to kind of take you into custody.
Listen,
Who's got-
friend, I know this looks very, very bad, but I was trying to salvage what we could of this poor, innocent officer who died so abruptly out of nowhere. And I'm trying to like do like head motions, like if I can still see Auditor or Irin to like help me in some way.
Like
It's like if only someone could have helped him in time.
you're ungently shoved to the ground. Get your hands behind your back. Are either of you jumping in on this?
Officers.
Auditor,
Officers.
like there's like a visual like of like gears like kind of like turning in Auditor's head for a few seconds. Where like, oh, and then like Auditor just like he's gonna like basically like as they're like slamming Asmodeus to the ground and like kind of like moving to like cuff him, he's gonna like run in and basically just try to like just hightail it with him, just like in out vroom like around a couple corners and just leg it.
So you're just gonna try and grab him and run.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I've heard worse plans
like,
in my time.
Like, as he's like doing that, I'll just gonna say, "The keys are a family heirloom. We really should take them home." just like making like googly eyes off at the key.
Okay. So let's see if you can move faster than the cops can react. Essentially.
Oh
I think
So-
I get a measure like advantage for trying to be zippy.
If you were doing a moving test, you do you automatically win on any coins we draw. Is the big thing
Okay.
here.
And so
And we want to do
yeah,
this
let's,
just the one card.
yeah, we're gonna draw this straight. Let's see.
All right. Whoop. And that is the
Mm,
5 of swords. That is not what you were hoping for in this
It
situation.
isn't.
Oh no.
So I
And
think
so-
I think what might happen is like obviously like you got like the partner like cuffing it and like the other guy is like like obviously like watching this sees me start to move and like as I'm like reaching down I just get tackled immediately.
Well, he doesn't. It's not quite a tackle because remember he's basically using his driver's side door as a shield and had the gun trained on Asmodeus, and so he sees you moving and just mag dumps, just bum 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 bum, and shots are
God.
all around you.
Oh.
One of them just wings your arm. It doesn't hurt nearly as bad as the soul gun, but it's still annoying. Looks like a level 1 harm.
Sure.
Yeah.
What are you
Irin?
doing? You're just shooting at these people. They've done nothing. This madman was just checking the body of a poor dead officer, and that one was just going to step forward and offer whatever assistance he could to whoever he needed assistance, and you go and shoot him. And look, he's
And, like,
all scraped
Asmodeus-
up on the ground.
Yeah, and Asmodeus
It's
is off the
not
ground.
like
So like,
he came and put fire on these poor people. They're just looking
It's
at
like-
the bodies.
Asmodeus, like in response to that, like just laying on the ground, like zip tied, cuffed behind the back. He's like, "I demand to see your manager. This is how
Obviously,
dare
he's
you
not in
treat
his
a
right
lowly
mind."
citizen."
You're like, down on the ground now.
I'm already down
like-
here, you loathing idiots.
Like the one cop that's got you tied up, Asmodeus, is now like drawing their weapon as the other one's reloading.
Okay, I think we're all getting a little out of hand here. Is there a way I can, like, call Daniel telepathically by chance?
You unfortunately don't have a way to do that. That sounds like that would be a
Shit.
nice relic power. Wouldn't that be a wonderful miracle to have on hand?
It would be a nice miracle to have right about now.
Unfortunately,
5 and 6 is... Yeah.
that is not how your miracle works. So instead, what would you do at this point, as we're in this tense situation?
There is
Yeah,
God, I
Asmodeus
know
is
what I
trying to
could do.
smooth talk his way out of this, but he's already cuffed.
Unfortunately,
So
I am a Nesher. There's definitely no problem that I can't escape by just running away. So yeah, I'm gonna go with plan that one, and I am just going to vertically exit.
Just dip out.
Yeah, I can. I mean, I'm. Let's face it. Intellectually, when you stop and think about it, really, this is taking Asmodeus straight to a police building that is assuredly going to have records of some sort in it. This is a great plan. I'm sure Irin can find her way out of this, and if not, you know what? Frankly, 2 is better than 3 anyway. So yeah, 5.
Flippin' rude. So
I see
you're
him.
just like,
You just like, my planet needs me. You just fly, Superman style, fly away to my demise.
Well, you see the fly, and the cops. What the cops see is they see you essentially like leap up. Was there a fire escape there? Obviously, there had to have been. Otherwise, how are you supposed to get up to that roof?
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah,
bounce back,
and you're up and away.
and I guess
I
like
hate
to
do it,
hope to
but I'm
like to
gonna
help out
do
at least
it.
a little bit. I am going to like wave the obsidian pistol like a little bit, and then keep booking it.
Oh yeah, and then that just like gun, and like they're firing away at you, and you're far enough away that they really aren't going to be able to reasonably hit you. But that gives
And
you
as
guys.
their attention is turned toward Auditor up on the roof, I'm gonna pull out my sword of mastery and take care of them. They're being annoying.
You
Yeah.
have a sword?
The
When
Aria.
was this
And what is
established?
this? And what is this sword that you have, Irin? If you might indulge those who may not be familiar with the intricacies of angelic daring do.
I was just reading it and I don't know where I. Sword of Mastery.
Goodness.
Come along.
Pitch and pull along through things here. Because it's your. Oh, it's this sort of
You're
majesty,
searching.
is what you're thinking of, right?
Oh man, I thought it was.
Your mastery is in striking, which is a different thing.
Yes.
The sort of majesty is what you're given basically as an aria, what you have, what you can do. Just inherently for being an aria.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember where they hid that bit.
Yes.
I'm actually plugging through my nice, lovely physical copy of RELICS to locate that. Where is? Do we have an index? Sorry, folks. Bear with us one hot second here while we track this down.
I was just reading
kind
it
of important.
too before I done it.
Well, what I can tell you is that the Sword of Majesty is. So remember how angels have. Some angels are spoken of as having big flaming swords? That's the aria.
Yeah.
It is the sword of fire that the warriors of God wield.
Okay, I think I might have found the relevant bit on page 72.
72. Perfecto.
There it is. Yep.
Or rather, page 69 even. I was definitely looking at the wrong thing. Yep.
Yep, the Sword of Majesty. Once per scene, the aria may manifest a 5-foot-long blade of fire. Does sufficient damage and attack to destroy anything smaller than a truck, destroy a relic, kill a single human, or severely wound a demon. It's considered one level of skill up for that attack. It can cut through anything, burns at around 5,000 degrees Celsius, and the angel is skilled at wielding it, so may be given a blessing on tests. So, how do you
How can
draw
it only
the
kill
Sword
one
of Majesty
measly
forth?
human? I mean, come on.
One
mean-
measly human. Oh my god.
I assume that's a one at a time sort of thing.
Yeah, that could be.
But how do you draw forth your sword, Irin?
Well, I might have had a little blade, like, on my hip that I carry with me, as you do, which is a little less noticeable than this one. And when I draw it and activate the power of the aria, it goes whoosh.
Yeah, I imagine
Sort
it's
of like a lightsaber, only better.
Yeah, it's like this little blade at your hip, but as you draw and pull it out of the sheath, it ignites and it pulls out for way longer than a blade in a sheath that size should be. And it is as fire dancing. And with that, the ignition in the air, the police officers return their gaze down from the rooftops and see this, and their eyes go wide with fear. And I assume, which one would you like to lay into?
Probably the one on Asmodeus, since I
Okay.
think you would be closest.
Well, as noted, you are skilled in this, so you are blessed, which means you get the better of these two cards. The Page of Cups is a solid pull. The Queen of Coins, even slightly better. They are both considered full successes. How do you smite this officer of the law?
Just a flick of the wrist and not quite slice him in two, but enough to make him not alive anymore.
Assume it's just it's not a bisection, but it does cut clean through the chest. The wound is instantaneously cauterized with 5,000 degrees Celsius of heat. So there is no spray of blood even. It's just whoosh, and he falls over smoking.
Then I turn and look at his friend.
And like Asmodeus is like looking at you, Aaron, just like jaw dropped. But then like suddenly he's looked up. It's like, now you thought was the good time to reveal that. You couldn't have come out just a few seconds earlier,
Well,
when
give
they
him the
were both
benefit of
still
the
in one
doubt.
vehicle. Well, it was
The
fun
cop-
for a little bit to think they were all confident, but
He dives into the car, hastily working the ignition, turning it on, and let's see. Okay.
just grabs a bazooka and
We're gonna-
fucking just blows
Yes,
our ass.
the back of the police car bazooka. You never know when the criminals are gonna have it.
7 of coins. His will is not
On what?
strong, so he throws it into reverse and nopes right the hell out of there.
Nice. Bye-bye.
And that's how it's done, Auditor.
Otter's already like 3 blocks away.
Single attack, like, did I hear something?
Yeah, that's fine. So we have Irin there. We have Asmodeus zip tight.
If you could just very gently with that blade there, just run it down this measly bit of plastic. Hell, you probably don't even have to cut it. Just put the 5,000 degrees, just melt that zip tie right up. Should take a couple seconds. Any minute now.
You really trust me that much?
I mean, it's either you cut it off, melt it off, or I trust Auditor to shoot the bloody thing off, which, I mean, I'll take my gamble with at least, with a divine blade, and someone who knows how to use it, than someone with a gun who does not.
I will, under one condition. You stop talking to police officers. And I melt it off.
Yeah,
Deal.
it's not even a test. You just bring it like within like 3 feet, and it just glorps right off.
Just like, yeah. Right. Well, You leave the... Fine, I'll leave the talking to the authorities for you, since that is clearly your specialty, and I'll be talking with any of the more unsavory characters we come across.
Excellent. Well,
And off you go, I expect.
Yeah?
oh, to the police station.
Lip-
That's going to be grand if that
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
shows up again.
Just remember to pick up the keys before we go.
Oh yeah. Get him out there. You have decent enough knowledge of the city, I would say, to make your way to the nearest precinct. It's barricaded. They've like barricaded the block to try and stop people from getting there. You can see that there are marksmen on the roof. They've boarded up the windows, and like there are cop cars behind the barricades, and riot police are milling around on the block. Do you see some people have tried to take the barricades, and they just get beaten back.
Well, this was
So
unprecedented.
about like how far away would I be, like in terms of it's like presumably I don't think Auditor is jonesed enough to like try and run the marksman. Like about how far back would he be, like, rooftop relative?
How close do you want to try and get? Would be my.
Auditor is Auditor, so close enough to like have a decent look over like this entire formation, like basically close enough that he can like see it all and analyze it.
Okay, so you could definitely get, I would say, within a couple blocks, without being too well noticed, because most of their attention's on the ground, because that's where they're expecting trouble to come from. They aren't expecting people to come leaping across the rooftops like friggin' ninjas. Just the place we live in.
Right.
So, and then you're trying to get an analysis. So let's go with some knowing there. Do we want
I
to
think that might be
pull it?
assessment.
We could do assessment, yeah. I believe you've got a skill in assessment, don't you?
I do, and in knowing.
And where did that skill in assessment come from for those who might be joining us for the first time? Just a brief summary as we're pulling things through.
For those unfamiliar, that was acquired through memory, a wonderful feature wherein two of us come together to explore a shared experience and the skill that shared experience imparted.
And what was
Character
that
creation.
shared memory that the assessment came from?
Well, that was a meeting during the French Revolution's terror with, unless memory fails,
Mm-hmm.
as
right.
Asmodeus, where the Auditor briefly appeared among the ranks of those prescribed for execution, and with only a look was able to shake even the even the firm resolve of Asmodeus.
Mm-hmm. And so, with that expert assessment, we've drawn the Hierophant. Does anybody here have the Hierophant as their signifier?
And
Not me.
Okay. Remember, it's important to have you to know what your signifier is, because if we draw it, your relic will manifest a new miracle. the good stuff. That's all right, because even then, drawing a major arcana is a dramatic success. Wait, is that dramatic success? It might just be a full success. Resolution. No, it's just a full success still.
Okay.
Very, very nice.
So, we're still fine. You're still good. With that full success, what questions would you like to ask me about the layout of this current enterprise?
It is sort of a shame that it is Auditor asking these questions because, of course, most importantly, how could this how could this be best altered to efficiently defend against demonic attack?
To efficiently defend against demonic attack. Typically at that point, you're looking at you probably need some form of relics. There are relics that can defend against demons. There are relics that can more effectively like fortify a place. You need to, set them up so that way they can actually effectively fight them. You need more people on the roof just in case they try and come in from above. Yeah, I mean, this place could be pretty well fortified even better. It's mostly the thing of having the right firepower. They probably need a little more in the way of like ordnance, really, more so than firearms. Firearms do hurt, and in enough massed firepower, you can bring down an angel or a demon. But really, you gotta be able to either consistently hit or hit with sufficient force to crack the vessel and pour forth. Now, if you could position yourself and figure out how the soul gun works, that might prove an effective weapon.
Yes, and speaking of the soul gun, well, speaking of figuring out how this soul gun works, now that I have now that I've taken my notes on the most important priority here, how would I best get through this and get inside?
Getting inside. I mean, as noted, a lot of their concentration is on the ground game. People coming in across the block, they're waiting for rioters to come and try and break the barricades, torch the place that way. That means they're not watching the roofs as closely. Like, it's still going to take a little bit of work, but you can show up, you can get in there way easier via the rooftop and the rooftop access than trying to go in through the ground.
Okay. And was it three questions you said?
I was basically saying just basically to your satisfaction, really.
Oh, okay. I
with a
see. I
full
see. I see.
success.
So.
Yeah, there's no limit necessarily. It's mostly just whatever tickles you on this one. Because we assume you're
Are
quite
there any,
confident with the full success.
Is there a clear, clear authority, out and about, kind of like managing this defense?
Yeah, there is absolutely one character you can see that is essentially coordinating and directing the riot police.
Okay. I think that's that'll satisfy Auditor as far as things to know about this. And for the time being, Like, at least like he'll wait until like you see it's like he's basically like looking for the car that is presumably bringing Asmodeus in for detainment.
Yeah.
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Auditor, that's not what that's not what he's going to find, or he's not going to get that signal. Unfortunately, Asmodeus, Irin, what are you two doing at this point as you approach this urban fortress?
Just look over there and go. By chance, does your store have enough steam to perhaps cut through all of these in a way, or?
I believe that would be a little over the top, if you will.
Maybe.
Creature.
If only we'd taken a badge, perhaps we might have. Maybe there's a way we can talk to those guarding and saying that we are here in the station on urgent police business. Actually, looking around at all the cops, is there a way for us to tell if any of them might be secretly angels or demons? Sort of like wolves
You
among
know,
sheep type of deal?
I hadn't been thinking about it. Usually they're not. Usually, well, not always. It's not at all. It's one of those things where you do see it, but it's not a very common thing. Like there's maybe, if you were to consider that, one in every city essentially, or one per city, maybe two, depending. Just because of the way the various angelic philosophies and that sort of thing work, like working that closely with mortals, especially mortals that keep records, like the police, can be somewhat hazardous to work with them in an official capacity. Just because, like, depending on who you're working with, because remember, with angels, you're seeming, yeah, it'll get you into the system, and you won't. It'll provide some basic stuff, but if anybody looks closely enough, you're always going to be the exact average height, the exact average weight, like and like no matter what your description is, it's going to be a very generic description. You're going to have brown hair, black eyes, that sort of thing. And so there might be some wait a minute moments.
Suspicious hyper normal.
Yeah. Exactly. You are aggressively normal.
Aggressively normal, all right.
Yes. Yes, correct. Which can have its advantages and disadvantages. But like I said, if somebody looks closely enough and they actually do the thing on it, it can get a little weird. So that's why normally you don't see a lot of angels working in human organizations like that keep track of stuff like that normally. Yeah, you do not feel the buzz here.
Okay. I'll just look to Aaron and go, well,
Do we
I
sense
already-
Auditor nearby?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I suspect Auditor is about a block or so back, so you do have that faint buzz behind you.
Well,
Yeah,
I would go. Oh, go ahead.
he's not trying to like conceal himself from angelic view or anything like that. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, it would take a lot to like actively conceal that divine sense. But
yeah, Asmodeus is just gonna turn to Aaron and go, well, I, being the man that I am, would probably go over to the officers and perhaps ask them nicely if we could go in. But I made a promise to a dear friend that I would not be the type to talk to officers, and I, for one, am a man of my word. So please, I'll let you do the honors this time.
Oh,
I'll stand
goodness.
by with my hammer. Go ahead and work your magic.
You believe these men in their suits and their guns and their sticks are gonna just let us walk on by them if we ask them nice?
You never know.
It would be about as much sense as his cat here, asking them to do something for him.
And that's why you also have the sword. And you know what they say, speak softly and carry a big, flaming hot sword. So...
Mayhap patience would be the most appropriate path to go along now. Because it's obvious you've never faced a castle that is protecting itself from a siege. They're not going to let anyone in. Boy, you purr loudly, cat. Now I know why you're living on the streets.
Cat.
Actually, can I actually pull a memory here? At this,
Yeah!
at the mention of
I'm good
yeah,
for it.
because being a man who made ambition, I had to have remembered times where I have gone through sieges and maybe stumbled across something like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love the idea that it's Asmodeus, and Irin's like, come on, you've never been to a castle, knowing damn well they've been to a castle in a siege before. That just strikes me as the thing that happens there.
As old as he is, yeah.
Oh yeah, especially with the line of people I hung around with.
Well, and it's funny that it's Irin saying it because Irin came around as castles were starting to fall out of vogue. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this could be the one between Auditor and Asmodeus if you're down as think of what.
Okay, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, here, have a prompt. The prompt I've pulled for this is the secret they keep from me is. Which that's a spicy one.
Okay.
What are you hiding in those castle walls, Auditor?
Okay, I think this might have been somewhere further east, perhaps during the late heyday of the Mongols, when they were kind of systematizing and where I think okay, so a thing with the Auditor is you have to test theories, test ideas, test systems. After all, if it won't even work with people, why would it work with humans? And what better to use to test the theory, the theory of a demon subverted human host against a fortified position, than Asmodeus leading a human host against position castle that I fortified myself.
Okay.
So is Asmodeus holding this castle? Then
I think Asmodeus was going to take this castle, and.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, Asmodeus is the invading force in Mongol times. Yeah, I'm thinking perhaps with the Mongols, he's sort of a second lieutenant leading this massive army into a big Chinese like fortress or palace, and we're like going into the big city, and like we're like trying to find any chinks within their defenses, and I'm thinking it gives like a gift of knowing, finding a weakness or finding blind spots of some kind.
Let's see. What do we
Actually,
fall that under? We
it
have
might be like
things. There are stuff.
I think it'd definitely be a sort of action, and
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Memory.
infiltration.
Well, so are you trying to find like a specific like? Are you trying to find a gap in the actual building of the defense, or in the
Mhm.
like the psychology, a psychological gap, really?
I would say a physical one.
So a physical gap at that point, you'd probably be
Yeah.
looking at something like, oh gosh, I just saw one that was really applicable here. It'd be like engineering almost, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you're literally looking to see how can I like work around, or what would they have had to have built to make this work that I could kick a foundation out of or something.
Yeah,
I
like
can
how do I
break this
talk
down.
this? Yeah, like it's all really a house of cards as Asmodeus sees it. It's just a matter of finding the right chink in the armor to exploit.
Yeah. So at that point, your memory is essentially we'd put down laid siege with the Mongols, and then we'll give you engineering, which is in fact a thing of knowing.
Got it. All right, and yeah, as Irin says that to me, I will be like, well, I'll have you know that I have had my fair share of storming castles and from time to time, and what we're clearly not discussing is the chink in their defenses right here. As I'm trying to find the potential weak spot in their
Sure.
holding.
So the page of coins, the nine of coins. The page is the better here,
Ooh.
which is fine. That's still a full success. So yeah, you would know. You take a look. Yeah, they've set up these makeshift barricades, which is the thing. Um, have they barred all their windows? Have they sealed them? Is there sewer access? Are they watching the rooftop completely, or are they just focused on the ground? These are the questions that swirl through your mind, Asmodeus, as you put this together, as you work this through. Because they have to have because they have people on the roof, so there's got to be a way onto the roof, which means there's a way back in. They have to have sewer works, otherwise, they're not a modern building. And well, they probably have windows, and it's a matter of being able to access those windows without being seen. Or can you? There are a lot of ways of ingress in here. It's mostly a matter of what works for you. Hardly the worst castle.
Yeah. Please. I've seen better castles in just dung heap villages. Obviously, I think our best bet might be taking the sewage pipelines and going under all this noise. The windows might be viable as well, but with snipers positioned on the rooftops, unless Auditor can take them out, we'll just be sitting ducks for them to shoot us with those annoying, pesky bullets. But that's just my theory.
So, Angels, what's the course of action here?
I really dislike the thought of sewers.
Here has auditor like paying enough attention to notice that like the buzzing of fellow angels is not in a car, is not moving at vaguely car speeds, nor is it in a.
Oh yeah, it's in a still place. It's stock still.
Mhm. So I'm gonna like carefully clamber down to go see what that is.
Yeah, yeah,
What?
you're able to find them.
Why are you
Oh,
here?
you're finally here. Well,
There you are.
they were nice enough after Irin was so charitable in sharing the heat that her sword offers, that they were nice enough to let us go. So now we're trying to figure out best way to get inside. My vote is either taking the windows, or that should likely not be barricaded, or we go under all this nonsense and through the sewers.
Sufficient distraction, I could get in through the roof quickly. They're mostly watching the ground, and I don't know if Auditor can like point out the coordinator from like their position. Like maybe he's just not quite in the wrong position, but there's
Yeah.
also that one over there seems to be managing the defenses. So you move his attention, That should, unfortunately, that should shift the attention of everyone else. It'd almost be a properly
you
defensive
two
position given.
want to go through the roof. I could distract the gentleman there.
Huh? Well, if
Would that work?
you have means of doing that, all right.
Yeah.
You'd want to
settle with
take some care. They do have not archers, snipers on the rooftops, and while they only seem to have regular mortal weapons, enough of those, I'm sure, could at least hurt. Any kind of brushes awkwardly at like a little bit of himself like got chipped off when he got shot at earlier.
I'll think of something.
All right. Let's off to the roof then.
Okay, so you're headed up to the roof. And you're just walking up onto there, or just climbing up onto there, or are you gonna wait for Irin to start her distraction?
I'll go up there with Auditor if there's like, if we both notice there's not a whole lot of attention being paid to us.
Yeah, I think Auditor is like confident that the position he was in before is like safe to wait in. So like he's gonna head back up that way, just kind of assuming that Asmodeus is gonna follow him, and wait there for Irin to make the proverbial move.
Okay, yeah. I would say you're able to get up there without too much issue and wait it out. So, Irin, what is your move?
Oh gosh, there's too many ideas going through my mind right now. I will just carry this strange street cat that I found, and just with an air of innocence and completely not understanding what's going on, just walk towards the leader guy.
All right, so you're walking towards the barricades.
Yeah.
And as you're doing so, you're hearing the police shouting, and like one of them, the leader, is speaking into like a megaphone. Turn away. Return to your homes. Return to your home, and you will not be harmed.
What is happening? What is going on? You're standing here like you're going to be invaded by hordes of knights on horseback. It's just me and a cat. I mean, I could throw him at you, yeah, and he could injure you, but I just wanted to ask you for some directions. Policeman, my mother always told me you can ask a policeman if you need help, and want to ask for some help.
Like they've got like their beanbag guns pointed. Like a couple other people have like that were kind of milling around are starting to peel off as you're closing in. They're focused on you at this point, Irin. Asmodeus, Auditor.
Hop, skip, and a jump
Auditor,
to the window.
quite helpfully, the time is now, and boom, and he
Alright.
just looks it.
Right. Asmodeus is following right behind. He does the whole Spider-Man jump across the roof, trying to like get
Okay.
grab onto the windows.
All right. That is going to be a stealth check for each of you to make it across without
All
being
right.
noticed.
I'll be able to, I'll be able to Nesher augment it by going for additional speed. I take advantage of this.
Yeah, I mean, that'll give you some.
Mhm.
That'll give you. I mean, it's a stealth movement action here, so it's definitely going to be something your Nesherness is going to help you with.
Right.
So,
Yes. Let's see.
boop. That is of cups. And cups are not what you want here, unfortunately.
No, damn you, Cubs!
So that
It is
is
all
going to
cups
be
today.
that one. I mean, there were some coins on that
gosh.
last one, unfortunately. And Asmodeus, let's see what you pull. Maybe
Okay, that's
maybe
just-
they don't notice you.
Come on, I'm gonna get like the one of spades. Oh,
It's the Ace of
Duke
Swords.
That's good.
So you do
think?
actually make it. You're fine. Yeah, Ace is good. Ace is high.
I just get the secret aspect is getting shot. I swear.
So Auditor, you land with a little bit of a whump, and the marksman closest to you turns to look, and he sees you. What do you do?
Let's see here.
'Cause you are
Thinking
Nesher,
very
and you are
quickly.
so fast.
Thinking very quickly and not wanting to ruin the plan, he is going to like throw like the obsidian pistol like down behind him, like put his hands up, and also immediately like book for like more or less like a ram direction out of the cordon.
You're gonna throw the pistol away?
Like the idea being that Asmodeus can pick this thing up and continue to like take it in to investigate while
So you're gonna
Auditor
throw it
distracts.
kind of vaguely in his direction.
Yes.
Okay, got it. That's different than like I heard just dropping it, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah,
that's-
not definitely not just let me just lob this gently into the crowd of police officers and see what happens. Not that at all. Not that thing.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's why. But we got that clarification. So yeah, you kind of just like softly like you drop it and you like kind of kick it with your foot, as you've got your hands up, because that's really what they're doing. And it's like, we have rooftop contact.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
it's definitely
they're
time to
they're
away.
converging.
Let's attract their continued attention. Away from
Okay,
ostensibly where Asmodeus should be going in, and hopefully also
so
not get
that's
shot again.
so we're going with pursuit. Do you have pursuit, or would you like to try and snag a memory?
You know what? Let's see if we can't snag ourselves a memory here.
A memory. Who do you remember with? Or who's giving you the memory?
Irin, could I invite you to share this memory with me?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah. Let's get you a prompt. Well, we've already had that one. I don't want that one. Ah, there we go. Let's see, right. The lie we agreed upon was
A lot of potential with this one.
Oh. I remember in session 0 we talked about a different lie regarding the Spanish flu. And that it was a Spanish problem. So I want to tie it to that because just continuation of the lie.
something in chase and pursuit.
Yeah.
Keep in mind as well.
We have the Spanish chasing us.
I think maybe something to do with submarine, with warfare, like submarines way out in. They're like during World War One. Lie we agreed upon. I think.
Which also ties with the Spanish flu.
I don't think Lusitania was sunk by a German U-boat, but
it was World War II.
I think we decided that would be for the best, and well, frankly, it takes some doing to hunt a suitable merchant marine vessel to ensure that it goes down at the right place at the right time with enough people on board that the United States can't help but answer finally properly. This great war needed one more entrance, and so we hunted for a victim, posed the story, and executed. Okay.
And so it
and
took a
then
bit
somehow
to hunt
we
them
were
down.
found out. And we were chased down because obviously what we were doing was very bad.
You're thinking maybe some angelic authority or something tried to pursue you, or maybe someone else who thought they knew the truth, maybe some like OSS type setup or something.
Yeah. Be interesting.
Okay. Got it. So go ahead and put down pursuit for your thing. There, Auditor, and you have, as your memory, of course, sank the Lusitania and evaded the authorities. So, let's find out what you got. What are you buying? What are you selling? The Seven of Cups. The Hanged Man. Who has the does anybody have the Hanged Man as their signifier?
Not me.
Not I.
Nope, nobody with the Hanged Man.
Not I. Not I.
But fortunately, it is the Major Arcana, which is a success. Which means, with those memories of fleeing the G-Men, you leap off. Gunfire firing off behind you. The police on the ground, Irin, look upwards.
And you were frightened by a woman with a cat. What's going on up there?
Cops start heading into the station. Some of them start going over the barriers, pouring around you. Some of them like shoving past you. Asmodeus.
No wonder everybody hates you.
The soul gun is at your feet. The access to the police station ahead of you.
Alright. I will pick up the pistol and take out the keys and try to find the forensics room. Or
okay. So you're gonna just kinda just make your way nonchalantly into the station, and you're looking for like evidence or something, or
it's like a way to like, it's like forensics. I think I'm almost positive that's the place where you go to like, scan for fingerprints and where you can like find like, like the tinier details on evidence on there.
Okay.
Just to see like where, see like see if I can ID the person who had the gun, and maybe like if there's I know there's probably no earthly manufacturer, but something of note that might be able to help where they obtained it.
Okay. So you head down. We're gonna have you make another stealth check really quick, just because there's some police headed up towards the roof at this point.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
sure. We gonna do this straight, or
Just keep it straight. Let's see what we got. Come on.
the Knight of Swords? It's still good. Good.
Ooh, it's a dude riding a rhinos. That's pretty metal. I enjoy that.
And so you duck into a side corridor as like a squad of riot cops rush past. And then you find yourself in the forensics office. There's like several different like lab tables and computer banks. Like evidence is just beyond the way. What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna first see, because I don't know if it's like powder or what it is exactly that's used to to like sort of highlight the fingerprints that have been on the gun for longer. But yeah, I wanted to try to look around like those chemicals and see if I can find because obviously I know Auditor is the one who held the gun last, but I just want to see if older prints.
Well, that's not a problem because you don't have fingerprints.
Oh, that's right, we're angels.
oh, right. Cripes.
Yeah, we're basically Men in Black, but
yeah.
heaven.
not a completely inaccurate setup there. So that is a
Yeah.
forensics check. Do you have forensics as a skill?
Not to my knowledge.
I
Oh,
didn't
let me
think you
double check.
did. I didn't
Mhm.
think there was. I didn't think you had done a stint with some detective work or anything like that. So that's fine. That's not a bad thing. We want to just take the draw as it is then.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah. Let's see what happens here. That is the 8 of
Ooh.
Swords, which means that is a grudging success. So it's going to be a success, but
Okay.
there is going to be a cost or a complication.
Mhm.
So as you're dusting, you do find some fingerprints, and you haul it over to try and like you think that like humans talk about scanners. Maybe there's a scanner here that you can use to kind of scan the prints. And as you're doing that, there's going to be two things. One, do you know how to use a computer? Two, you hear something, a rumble and a clank from the evidence locker.
Decisions. Is the clang repeating? Like it sounds like someone's trying to break out of it, or
It's more like something fell down.
okay. I'll open the locker.
Well, when I say the evidence locker, it's more colloquialism because it's an evidence. It's a whole room, essentially a side room off of here, where all the evidence is kept.
Mm-hmm.
You open the door, and inside, you see a person. They are androgynous, dressed in street clothes, but you can see, poking out from beneath the hood of the hoodie that they're wearing, the tip of a horn.
Mm-hmm.
And they are rummaging through a box.
Sort of smugly put my hands in my pockets and go, you do realize that the station is a bit on high alert. I don't think rummaging through all these very sensitive evidential papers will do the officers much good. So, if you'd be so kind as to state your name. Okay.
They start. They turn to look at you, and you can see now they have a matching set of horns coming off.
Mm-hmm.
They look over. And just who are you?
Well, you can call me Asmodeus. A couple of my friends and I are. My friends are outside. I've been sent here to investigate the matter of this, and I'll pull out the obsidian pistol. And while I don't have many answers on that, I found a new potential ally in yourself, in this lovely little fortress, as they call it, as the humans do, but perhaps we can help each other in this instance.
They look very, very sincere. They squint. Where did you get that?
Oh, just on the street. I'm willing to provide, information doesn't exactly come cheap. Perhaps if I was given something of equal knowledge or material of equal value that could be of use to me, I can do the same in tow for you, my friend.
What are you looking for?
Just word on what's the status of the rest of the heavenly hierarchy, as well as the one down below. And with God being out of the picture, I would imagine that there are people in both realms who are vibing to take control.
Control. There's some who want control. There's some who want to go home. There's a lot of people who want a lot of different things. I guess my question is, what do you want?
Well, I just want to bridge the gaps that have been so foolishly set between angels and demons. I mean, you might have your horns and I have my wings, but aside from that, are our paths really that different? And should the humans sent to our planes really be given such different lives? And hell, like, those who sent to heaven, it might be their own personal hell, and the same goes for vice versa for those who are sent to your plane to suffer. So, I am in talks with other demons and perhaps meeting halfway and creating a place where there is no real heaven or hell. It's just where life sort of ends, or the afterlife, where the normal mortal life ends and the afterlife begins. And perhaps there might be punishment, perhaps not.
They look at you and they're like, they have kind of an indignant look, actually. It's, look, I have horns as my marking from falling to earth. It's not because I'm a demon, you prick.
Oh.
Second of all, if you're talking... Second of all, if you're talking with demons, then what makes you better than them? What makes you different from them?
Well, first off, I am terribly sorry for being presumptuous. Growing up, and I've usually assumed that there are some signifiers of one being heavenly or helly, but I really should make it a point to ask first instead of making those assumptions. Second off,
Yeah.
Secondly, as far as being better than them, we really aren't. I don't think any of us, we're not better than them, and they aren't any worse than we are. Both of us are bound by the same rules, by our higher powers. And with God out of the way, who's to say the devil might not be on his way out the door sooner than we think? So, perhaps this could be a time that the heaven and hells are ruled by the people who go there rather than the higher power who created them.
Wow. You really think you can just take... God walks away for 5 seconds and you think you can just take over, don't you?
I mean, it is God. They're not exactly the type to just. I know they scratch that. I know they're the type to leave humans to their devices, but to leave us to our own, it's a little bit. And for this long, just with no word, not even a goodbye, be back soon, or anything of that sort. Doesn't that seem just the slightest bit suspicious to you?
It does. But that's why I'm going to help bring her back. And they draw forth a sword of fire.
Oh my god.
And if you are going to try and stop me, if you're not a part of this mission, then you're my enemy.
Funny you should mention that. I have a friend
I-
with a sword just like that one. Oh, go ahead.
And actually, I was going to cut away because that's the perfect point for us to
Oh,
shift
please
gears.
do. It's just like a Seinfeld like ending, or just like JoJo, just like, to be continued.
Yep. As we move back. Irin. The cops have not quite fully dispersed, but they're in a different. There are much less of them than there were before. You hear the gunfire. You heard the gunfire. It's been a minute or so since then. What do you do?
I just stand there looking bewildered, holding this poor cat. And just looking around saying, what is happening? Does this mean you're not going to give me directions?
And like some of the remaining police looked very, very confused. Ma'am, we're gonna have to take you into custody if you don't disperse. Please, ma'am, just move along.
Well, I'm doing nothing wrong. I just wanted to ask you questions. This is how...
Ma'am, we're very, very
Is this
busy
how
right
police
now.
act in America? If it is, I'm never coming to visit you again. This is madness. I mean, back in Ireland, if we have a question, we can just go up to a police officer and ask the questions, and they're not gonna be beating us down with their riot gear or shoot at us with their guns. They're gonna answer the question so that we can be on our way, and they can be on their way, and they can protect and serve.
One of them was like, "Ma'am, what's your question?" The other guy just like, "Shut up!"
I am looking for the closest donut shop. I promised my friend that I'd bring her donuts from America. And I'm leaving
God.
tonight. And I have yet to find a donut shop.
Wow. And like you can just tell they're just staring blankly. Even though you can't see them through the visor, just like, are you freaking serious?
Just like, wow, donuts are just the one thing that's Ireland. Irish
Or like
people,
some-
they have no concept what a don't even looks like. Just like,
Or like a
this
sniper,
is
like hooking on
surround
the
circular
radio, who's like-
breathing.
Like a sniper, like hooking on the radio, who thinks this is just like a really long joke, and it's just cracking up.
I mean, I found these bread things with a hole in the middle, but they turned out to be bagels. And apparently bagels are not donuts. And I'm looking for good donuts.
Okay. All right. I am absolutely going to need like an oratory or a rapport roll here, because you are just
This joke has got to land.
Deception is a skill.
Yeah.
so.
I don't
Do you have
know.
oratory rapport? No.
Nope.
I'll I'll
Okay.
be your right
Do
back.
you want to just do this? Yeah, you're good. It's fine.
Yeah, why not? I'll just
Just
go
take
with
it
the
as
flow.
lands. Okay.
Ah,
Temperance. Does anybody have temperance as their card?
Not no.
I do not.
Oh,
I do not know what Asmodeus
Not me.
has, but
Yeah, I'll keep that on deck just in case Asmodeus maybe has a thing, because that would be heckin' funny if he does. But in the meantime, it is a success, so we'll roll with it as it is, just a straight up success. And like that, you hear him kind of like whispering back and forth furtively, and then the like a couple. Okay, ma'am, okay. A couple of us will take you to the closest donut shop. It's not like it's a few blocks off. It's a little bit of a walk. It's not safe tonight though, so we need you to be careful. And we'll
what is
we'll walk
happening?
you along.
What?
It's a very very trying night. It's very difficult to be out and about right now. I don't know what it's like in Ireland right now, but today, this is just, it's not a good time.
Oh, that is sad. But at least I get the donut, so thank you very much.
Yeah, pleasure to help you, ma'am. And like you can hear a couple of the other riot cops snickering behind you as they lead you off. Auditor,
Yeah.
yes.
you have lost your pursuers for the time being.
No, I also don't have my gun. And frankly, all things considered, as Asmodeus, don't like that. Let's see if we can't circle back around to get in, like to have another go at getting into this station here.
Sure. So how's your approach on this? How do you want to try and get into the station this time?
Let's see here. Logically, they are most likely the people who were chasing me are still chasing me. Not considering quite reasonably that perhaps I might not just be some crazy parkourist, but rather that I can literally fly. So I'm going to, and furthermore, they might not think that I didn't give up. So I'm going to, he's going to just try the rooftop again, but this time very quickly.
Okay.
Really, as per
So
usual,
we're just gonna
very quickly.
All right, so we're just gonna try and book in this time. No stealth, just flat speed. So let's see if you can make it in. 6 of Swords is not a good sign. But fortunately, with the pursuit that you've gained, the 3 of Staves. Unfortunately, no.
Oh,
That is a
no.
rough
If it's,
day.
I swear, if it involves a gun,
No.
the cards no.
No. What's going to happen this time is as you're like making your way back towards the thing, like several riot cops come around from the roof access and just tackle you down, and just they start basically zip cuffing you, you know, like they this is the part where they would be shouting your rights if they cared about that.
And Auditor is like he is just gonna like He's gonna close his eyes, like internally, like angrily muttering to himself. But uh, unless this is going to really escalate, this is probably going to get him to a degree what he wants anyway. So let's just let this happen.
Yeah, not too gently. They take you inside. Asmodeus,
Yeah, yeah.
you are facing down a a celestial being with a flaming sword. You have an unloaded gun and a hammer that can see the future. What do you do?
Mm. I will put both my hands up and be like, now, I didn't mention anything of the sort of getting in your way. You can go about your merry business of trying to get things back to normal. I have no intent in stopping you in your business. I was just curious as to what another of our kin was doing in this place.
Well, I could tell you, or you can leave with your vessel intact.
That is a very generous offer. Though, about what I said earlier about the whole, trading information, I already given you, I think I've given you quite a fair bit. If not, if there's more I can give, to perhaps something in return that could be of use for myself and the causes of my allies. They might not align with my view of the state of the world and the afterlife as well, but perhaps they align with yours. So maybe, hey, if you give me a little bit of something, might, sway them to what you want, and we might be able to help you out first.
Give you a very hard look. The absence of God will be a temporary one. We will return her grace to this world as soon as we can. You would do best not to sin in the meantime.
But sinning can be so fun. Haven't you thought about it? Just teasing it just a little bit? Not even something one of the more egregious ones.
I tried sinning once. It was awful.
We just need to find the right sin for you. Now, just put down the blade and we'll wait for my allies to come by and we can all have a nice little discussion.
Or you can walk away. And, I
Okay,
might
maybe.
pretend I didn't see you here. Because
Okay,
I've got business here.
You know what? That would be great. If you see any other divine beings, like, God's, like, assistant or anything like that, just say you heard zilch from me, you didn't see me, you didn't hear anything about other friends or any other names. I'm just gonna go and take the gun and leave you to your business. Does that sound cool?
They're looking at you. They're sizing you up.
Okay, I'm just gonna go before
Asmodeus?
I talk myself into a grave. Bye-bye! And I'm just gonna go out the door.
And you hear like, wait. You hear wait.
I wait.
Where did you get that gun?
But you said you didn't see me. The gun information isn't important to you.
I said I might.
Might. Such a complicated word, that one. All right, so we got it off of a person trying to shoot at us. They teleported away, and they kind of left it there for us to take. Not exactly a lot to go off of, so.
They teleported away, and they left that behind.
For why, your guess is as good as mine. There was one shot in it, and then gave a desire of hunger for some sort, but.
Yeah, it would do that.
So, are you going to tell me a little bit more about it then?
It's dangerous. You shouldn't be holding on to it much longer. But you could always give it back, and I'll make sure it gets back to the rightful owner.
Is there a way I can see if they're bullshitting me here? Can I insight this?
Yeah, insight's a thing. We can do that.
Cause I know, we didn't work hard to get this item, but it's like, do we really want it in the hands of people? I just want to make sure.
That's a good question. Do you have insight as a skill, or?
Trash. There's witness and intercession. Empathy from speaking. No insight.
Okay. Are we going to do this just as it is?
We'll do it just as is.
Okay. The Four of Cups. As far as you can tell, they're being truthful. I mean, as forthrightness goes, they've been fairly straightforward with you so far. Versus the several different stories you've told them.
True. Kind of look at the gun in my hand and back at this individual. Oh, and I'm terribly sorry. I don't believe I caught your name.
Didn't give it, but it is Catriel.
Right, Catriel. Give me a good reason as to why I should entrust the weapon used to take out myself and my allies. Why I should entrust this in your hands and returning it to its owners to more than likely attempt to kill us again. I know we haven't gotten on the best, we haven't gotten off on the right foot exactly, but with that in mind, I don't know if that's really something I can do in good conscience.
The owner's a bit zealous, but their heart's in the right place.
And who exactly is the owner?
I know them as Zogzazel.
Does that name ring a Zogza bell?
Directly no, but there are a lot of angels with a lot of different names. So knowing a particular angel, unless you've had dealings with them specifically at some point in the past. Now that being said, we could draw on it and see if there's something that maybe you have had a run with them previously.
Yeah, let's just do a straight draw.
Let's draw from memory.
Draw from memory.
Nah, doesn't ring a bell.
All right, fair.
You try.
Well, that is good to know, Zogzabel. That's very... sounds like very foreign, exotic name. I do appreciate the offer, but
I think my friends and I will hold on to this just a tad bit longer. There's so many other questions this thing has left to answer for us. The station has provided some of them, but we still have a breadcrumb trail to follow.
And what if I don't want you to have that gun at this point?
Well, then I guess you're gonna have to bring me to this Sogs about that. Because this gun isn't leaving my side, and I'm also not going anywhere without my other heavenly friends.
Really didn't want to have to do this. I really didn't want to have to do this. And why couldn't you have just been immortal? And they go in for a swing.
And I'm just gonna book it out.
Well, we're gonna have you draw to dodge, and then we'll pick things up with some other folks here in a moment.
All right. Good.
Do you have dodge as a skill?
I do not have dodge.
Unfortunately,
I just know how to
no.
talk.
That is the 3 of cups. So that is going to harm you as the blade sinks into your vessel. You can feel the glass melting.
Oh yeah.
As you are harmed, that is going to hurt.
Oh, okay, you know what? This probably should have been your opener. All right, just look. I could owe you a favor if you take me to this original owner. I can give you the names of contacts.
You've been led to the donut shop by a couple of the cops, and as after they drop you off, they go, like, they see a car joyriding down the street, and they tear off in pursuit of it. What do you do?
These humans are so annoying. Do we know about human money?
Yeah, you know about it.
Yeah.
You technically aren't allowed to. Like, there's rules about
Yeah.
not being able to deal in money and that sort of thing. It's because they don't want you, like, actually running things, but you can do, like, day work, spec work, that sort of thing to kind of get by.
Okay, just wondering.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just stand there watching them walk away, and then I start heading back over to the police station.
They leave you
Unless
alone.
we
You're
have
just
like a meeting point. I don't know where these guys are going. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know anything.
I imagine now it's like a brisk jog. Like, crap. Where do they go?
I left my 2 idiots alone. They're not safe.
Yeah. Is there a particular way you're trying to approach the station this time?
Oh gosh, not directly toward the front. Definitely not.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna like circle around and see if they have barricades all the way around. What's the deal? What are they protecting? I don't understand this at all. And just sort of.
Chances are they're just trying to protect the station.
Yeah.
Like, that's the inference.
Just meld with the crowd until I can find my fellow angels.
Okay. Blend in then. Do you have a blend in skill?
No, I do not. Of course I do
Okay,
not.
well, let's see if you can successfully blend in. The Page of Swords. Yes, you can.
There are good cards in there. All right.
Yeah, just takes a bit to find them. So yeah, That's easy. You're able to kind of move with the crowd and get back to they essentially have like their lot that they're keeping locked down, the parking lot at the rear of the station. And you're able to get pretty close to that without arousing suspicions.
And I can sense that Auditor and Asmodeus are still in the cop building, not knowing what's going on with them.
Yes, and now as you've closed to the building, you're within spitting distance. Really, you feel another buzz within of another presence.
Maybe Rigon showed up.
Can but hope. Auditor, you are being hauled down into the depths of the station. As you are headed down past the forensics lab, you hear a smash and a crash. And a shout and pleading. A familiar voice pleading.
Yeah.
And
He's
the
kinda like,
cops stop.
He's just gonna close. He's gonna close. Like Auditor's going to close his eyes. He's gonna look at the cops and kind of like he's gonna kind of just like motion. He's gonna kind of just like try and just like move up to a wall to just like sit down, like basically just and then just kind of motion like that seems important. Just you should.
One of them's gonna kind of push you down to sit down and like stand with you, while the remaining 4 or 5 head into the forensics lab to check. Asmodeus.
I guess.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, Auditor, I cut you off
this,
there. My
yeah,
apologies.
it was. This is gonna be like a little like I forget what the last one is like. So, did you find my gun? It's on the roof.
You're what?
On
And
the
that's
roof.
where we move. So Asmodeus, you're kind of locked in this combative embrace with Catriel. And that's when the other riot cops burst in. Freeze!
I believe this is the part where you surrender. As I'm looking to Catriel. This isn't exactly
And
the
she-
best look for you.
She's got a smirk. They're only human. And
Can't-
she like peels you off the blade. And then like stalks towards the cops as they like get their batons up. What do you do, Asmodeus?
I'm going to take the obsidian pistol and pistol whip the back of her head.
You're gonna pistol whip Catriel.
I'm gonna try to.
I mean, that's
I'm-
fine. Try as
at least to them, I'm just this innocent person who got stabbed with a flaming fucking sword. It's just self-defense at this point.
Sure, we can call it that. Why not?
Yeah, a bit
At
late,
least-
but
at least he has,
self-defense.
He has a very reasonable excuse. He was trying to help.
Yeah, I believe this goes under brawling, probably. It sounds like brawl. It sounds like a brawling type thing.
Yeah, I do not have brawling, but I will attempt it nonetheless.
Would you like to proc a memory? We have a lot. All these little tokens here that gives you more. Every one of those is a memory, potential memory you folks can use. That's money on the table right
Ooh.
there.
Ooh, if Auditor is down, I'm thinking of
I
a
think
memory.
I just might be.
Yeah, I am going
Let's go.
back to- yeah, I'm thinking of sort of like ancient, like I'm trying to think, like, cause like early like late 1800s, early 1900s, where like boxing is sort of like up and coming in America, and like a lot of like immigrants are also trying to make their bank at it, and I'm just helping. Like, I'm like this like established boxing trainer in the States, and I'm just like taking in all these newcomers, and I'm trying to show them the ropes on how to take on these more experienced like American boxers. And Auditor is sort of like a rival, is like a rival manager, or one who
Your two boxing promoters, essentially.
Yeah, and I think like
and,
Auditor has kind of like Auditor kind of like, because you know he is who he is. He kind of just got like drawn into like the idea of like building the perfect boxer, like, and then like kind of like establish like a system for that, where like Asmodeus was like, you know, just trying to like find like the most like motivated, you know, like the most personally motivated boxers, like the ones who like really wanted to excel, like just trying to see how far you can take them.
Oh yeah, and we just train them on like how like to best like strike all these weak spots, and like best way like to keep like, you know, the rocks paper scissors theory on, like, you know, you got to be a brawler, you got to be a dodger, you got to be loose and goose and things like that. And yeah, just imparting all our wisdom into
Asmodeus, who was your prize pupil in this time?
I'm trying to think. This is like very early days. I'm thinking of like a young Irish individual, perchance, like maybe like an ancestor of the what's the line of those, like the guy, he's like kind of a big, not, it's Mick something, May, or like an ancestor of the Mayweathers, of like who like came by and like were boxing like very early on.
Yeah. So you have like Jack Mayweather, essentially, is your fighter.
Yeah.
And Auditor, who was your best subject that you could pit against Mayweather?
Let's see here. This would have been the 1800s.
So it'd be like 1880s to 90s.
Yeah, so I think like the actual historical. Yeah, I think Gentleman Jim Corbett.
Ooh.
Nice. There you go.
Interesting.
And who ended up having the upper hand in their big prize fight?
I mean, I'm not.
Auditor's got the control. Auditor's got this.
Okay.
Auditor gets the final say on this because Auditor's giving the memory.
Let's see here. I think like the fight was ruled in Jim's favor. This is the 1890s, not 1990s, not the 2000s. You can't just have a black man winning a big prize fight like that. You know, it doesn't matter that he went the distance. It doesn't matter that any objective analysis of, you know, the fight would have given him the clear advantage. That wasn't important. Order had to be maintained, and it was. But you know, like Auditor remembered, and Asmodeus saw who the better boxer was, and what the better system, and the results of the competitive, like of who won in the competition of ideas. So, you know, that was Auditor. He walked away like that was it. He kind of like ended his you know, time of him like promoting and like training boxers. Like that was the last. Like Gentleman Jim was the last one, because in the end, Oh, that's not good enough. The system couldn't beat somebody who wanted it more. That's not acceptable. That's not good.
There we go. I love it. So, Asmodeus, your memory is started the Mayweather line of brawling.
Nice.
So, unfortunately, you did get hit by the sword, which does give you a blight. So, you are skilled, but you're not. You're still hurting pretty bad. So it's a straight draw on this. Is what that balances out to. And with the Seven of Swords, you do have a grudging success.
A lot of grudging successes today, my god.
It's a little bit of a rough day today here for our angelic band, as you take the butt of the soul gun, and like normally you can aim for like if depending on what you're trying to do, you aim for the small of the back. You can aim for you could try for the back of the head and get some, and usually that's a good result. But with the goal, is the goal here to try and not catch reel out, or what are you thinking?
I'm trying to knock her out, is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Just get her in a more like negotiable state.
Mm-hmm. You're trying to go for the back of the head, I think, but you miss. And rather than like just completely biff the shot, you manage to twist yourself and hit right on the join of her wing.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's that's not a pretty picture there.
Oh, she's gonna be pissed.
So you do, and she's like just howls in pain, because it normally takes a lot to hurt an angel, but if you know how to hurt him, boy can you. And she whirls on you. The cops start raining blows down on her back, and she's not like that. Like the initial pain's there. The rest of it's just numb. Just bum, 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 bum. And she raises the sword up, because obviously she didn't finish you the way she should have.
Help! Oh boy!
Irin.
Oh boy! How are those donuts, Irin? Oh my
What do
god!
you
Get a
do,
donut.
Irin?
I'm outside. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Do you want to try and make your way inside at all, or is there anything you'd like to do at this point in time?
I'd like to, but yeah, I'm not stealthy. Not fast. Talk too much, but they're not listening. I got nothing.
Oh, I mean, you could always go in loud.
Yeah,
You could go in loud potentially, but
yeah. I mean, if I knew they were in trouble, yeah, I'd be in like a heartbeat, but I just don't know.
if
I do
not, if you
know.
just want to wait, that's
Yeah.
fine. All right, so you're just hanging tight.
As far as I know, they're finding evidence.
Sure.
We're gonna be
Certainly
evidence in a
don't
few
know
minutes.
Auditor, you can hear the yells, the shouts, and you see, like, through the doorway, the flare of fire.
And like Otter's gonna like glance up at like the other cop. Is he like antsy to join in, or is he like Kind of like what is he doing?
I think he's like inching over to kind of peer in the door to see what the hell's going on in there.
Hmm.
With like, and you can see like the sweat kind of like starting to pool and drip a little down off his visor or through his visor to a certain extent.
Yeah, so Auditor is like a. It's like I assume that like Auditor's got like a relatively just a better vantage point. Like he's gonna say like
Yeah.
they're not winning. What do you want to do? What are you going to do?
He looks at his belt at the radio. He looks towards the staircase and he looks back at you. He's just in that point where he just doesn't, he's not quite sure what he should do.
Like Auditor like frowns and like kind of bad habits take over, and it's like radio's right. Obvious, like frankly, I'm probably not worth your trouble. You don't really, and all things considered, you know, my hands are bound. I don't have a weapon, and not a great deal productive I could get up to if I even knew what I wanted to do in a police station. But if four is not good enough, you probably need more. Probably need more than just you.
Nods. I need backup. Backup in forensics now.
And then he's also going to say like, and I'm sorry, and then like he's going to like, because I assume that like Auditor is close enough to like to figure there are two angels in there, and one of them is like this feels like very loud, and so like he's gonna he's going to like try and just like blindly like just try and like blindly rush in and like tackle whoever this is who is possibly about to do some murder.
To do a murder. Okay. That's. I mean, that sounds like a brawling thing to me, unless
Yeah,
otherwise noted. So, you're a little hobbled.
I am.
It might be a disadvantage, unless you got
Yes.
something you can do there.
I think like really the closest thing is like you know perhaps like I can like get just enough like momentum like Nesher momentum under me that I can like, even if I go wide there is something to be said for a human-sized object passing by you very close at very high speeds or disorientation.
Now you went for the tackle, so that's kind of
True,
what we're
true.
working with at this point.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah.
a 6 of staves. Well, that's our floor. Strength. Did anybody have? Does anybody have strength as their signifier? No. No.
One more and then
Asmodeus
me.
is strength your signifier?
Looking over. Domain of intercession and witness. I don't know if
No. Your
yeah,
signifier.
okay,
What's your
yeah.
major arcana?
Arcana. I believe I have one down.
If you don't have one, we need to get you one because that actually is like key, really.
Yes. Okay.
So let's. Okay. So. Do.
Big draw.
That real quick.
Okay. So let's see. Your signifier is the moon at this point. So that's good to know.
Save.
Unfortunately, you are at a disadvantage here, Auditor. So the 6 of staves is what you got instead of
Truth.
strength. So it is a failure. So you do miss and go bowling headlong past Catriel. You can see Asmodeus lying on the ground as she readies the flaming sword and brings it down. Asmodeus. Dodge! You are injured, so that is a blight, unless you have some other way to mitigate this.
Nope. Let's bring the dodge. Will we
That's
die in
that's a
just the second?
bold,
Yeah.
bold
Will we die in
claim.
the second session? Let's see.
7 of staves. If this card is better, that's not the worst possible thing. Strength again!
Oh! Yo, let's go! I am nothing but grudging successes today. This is
So,
insane.
So how does this look? Because you dodge out of the way of that sword, that terrible flaming sword.
Like, as the blade is like coming down, it's about to like strike my face, and I like brace for it, but then I just like twitch just slightly enough that it misses, but it's still like it cuts off a decent chunk and melts a bit of my shoulder. So
Ooh, it's just not hurting yet.
Oh yeah, I'm not insta dead. I'm just mortally wounded, or
Well, you're already
immortally
wounded. You're already
more
wounded.
so wounded.
This is more just like your arm is. You're gonna have trouble using that arm here for the next little bit while the vessel tries to like form itself back into being.
Yeah.
And you just saw Auditor come like ripping past and just like barrel into a table essentially.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do
boy.
next, Angels?
Auditor is going to let's see here. Do demons feel different from angels in proximity?
Not that you're aware of.
Okay. So yeah, all he sees is horns. But he's been
Horns,
here
a
a long
flaming
time.
sword.
Yeah, he's been here a long time, and he sees a flaming sword. And frankly, homicidal coming at Asmodeus with homicidal intent is not all that outrageous. So he'll instead just shout at the officers. Backup is on the way. Regroup and hold. And then like turn like you, and then like kind of like towards like the angel, like, you, what did he say?
Give me. This definitely feels like an oratory of some kind or a rapport thing.
Yeah.
If you're trying to push the cops off, so
Yeah.
let's do that. Do you have either of those?
Let me actually let me double check. I did. No.
Okay.
Creating order,
So
which I have creating order, which might apply.
I'll grant that. Okay. So you don't have advantage, unfortunately, because you're kind of bound up and stuff, so you don't necessarily have the thing. So, and I pulled 2 already. So would you like the left card or the right card out of these 2?
Let's go with the right hand.
The right. The 10 of Cups is indeed a grudging success. So you get the cops. The cops will back off for now, and they're like warily, because like they've been beating on her for like a few seconds now. She isn't going down to the baton, so let's back up. That'll buy you a little bit of time. She looks to you. He won't give Zogzazil's gun back.
Is that was it there? Zogzazel, that was that theirs?
Yeah.
Why did they load it with souls?
That's the name of the owner. They're not exactly keen on telling me, as you could tell by my multiple stab wounds.
Because that's how it works.
Was he the one? Was he the one who shot me with it?
Probably. I don't know. I wasn't there. We all have our missions and assignments.
System sounds awful.
My system sounds awful. You're the one who's cavorting with a demon sympathizer.
Guilty is charged.
This is what frankly, this is what happens when you improvise. I'm not happy about it either. Do not giggle, you. And to be,
she points the sword at Asmodeus's neck.
Okay. Let's put the sword away. You've made your point with it. It hurts very much. You are very good with it. Now just sheath that.
You heard
sucker
him.
away
Backup
if
is
you-
coming.
yes, it is. And
Okay.
frankly, and what are your priorities at least? What are you trying to do? What is shooting me in the back get you?
What matters? Relics. You do have your
And
military, don't you?
he kind of he frowns at that, and whatever. Take yours, and let's leave.
Wait, do I just give her the gun? Is that what we're doing here?
Would you rather die?
I
and
will
then let
give her
her
the
take
gun
it?
then. And I'll just toss it away.
She takes it up,
Just please
slides the gun
don't-
into her belt.
Just please don't send it. But if I do see that gun again in, trying to
Stop.
kill us.
Stop.
Okay. Stopping. Ow. Getting up hurts with fiery stab wounds.
She yanks the door to the outside shut, stopping the cops. Barricade it with a table. I'm gonna finish what I came for, and then I'm leaving. I suspect you don't want to be here. Oh, go on.
I'm going to drag this one away. Don't shoot. Please don't shoot. Please don't shoot me again. He's gonna move the table in front, and then see if he can bundle up Asmodeus.
She lets go, and the fiery sword disperses, and she heads back into the evidence room, and you can hear her rummaging around.
And by the way, no hard feelings.
And in the interest of not testing that theory, Auditor is just now he's got him bundled up. He's just gonna try to get out, get away. It's did she bust a hole in this? Is there another way out of this room here?
As you head into the evidence room, you can see she's still rummaging through some boxes. There is a hole. It looks like a window just got completely rent open. And that's probably how she got entrance in.
And he's just gonna take that way out. He'll glance down as he's going on the off chance that the answer to whatever she's looking to what she's looking for happens to be right there, but he's not gonna. This is not a dedicated investigation, if that makes sense.
Do you have investigate or search or anything like that?
I have a investigation by way of knowing.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll get that. That's a good one. The Hanged Man. The Hierophant. Two of our friends, no signifiers in the game. But something you do notice of note. Down on the ground, amidst the detritus, the needles, the fire, the normal mundane firearms, the various baggies full of things. In one bag that's been ripped open is what appears to be a rod about so big. It looks Egyptian in design.
Does she seem to have noticed it yet?
No.
Take that shit. Take it.
She said relics matter, and Auditor is not the type to miss a trick. He's going to blitz for it.
Yeah, you snag it, and you just walk away.
Yep.
And you feels good. You have this feeling. As you pick it up, you get that feeling of authority, of power.
Yes.
And you light out of the window and down into the alley. And as you emerge from the alley, you can see Irin mingling among the crowd, as if waiting.
And he'll call out to her yes, auntie, yes, I've managed to bail your nephew out.
Yes, Mom, please. I'm still very hurt. Can we please go to a medical facility or a place where we can be more private? I don't know, anywhere else?
Yes. Oh, my dear child. I told you to stay away from the policeman. Come along, I know a great donut shop. We can get you some rest.
They had a fiery sword and it hurts.
Yeah, nothing really. It's just
Happened.
walk away.
I went in there to look for the records. No?
Oh no, that's it.
There's no reply at this point.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
So you make your way away from the station, leaving Catriel and her flaming sword behind you, having lost the soul gun, but gaining a new relic as you move along. What do you do next as we head into the final minutes of tonight's episode?
And I figure like once they're like relatively ensconced at some point, like Auditor is like it's kind of like a holding, kind of like holding the rod, like examining it a little bit. Zogzazel, that was their relic. Seems the soul bullets are how it worked. Might be the identity of the shooter. Seems like there's some sort of angelic conspiracy to gather relics now. Not sure for what. Couldn't get her to say. That is the angel on the inside.
There was another one.
Yes. Marked with horns.
Huh.
Used a flaming sword.
Yeah, it's very similar to yours, and it was quite effective in hurting the shit out of me. So,
Yes.
my
So
two cents,
apparently you-
probably don't want to run into her again. But that's just
That's
me.
well apparent. Perhaps you should stop consorting with demons and telling people about it. Really,
Apparently,
you should just
other
stop
angels
consorting with
aren't-
demons. They are
but
the
there's-
enemy.
Some of my best friends are demons, I'll have you know.
Incorrect.
Okay, fine. Maybe you guys are my better friends compared to the literal demons, but sure, fine. Something to think over. Right. Let's grab off Rigon and I say we investigate this relic further and let's try to at least get a one-up on this other angel.
And mayhap we won't be losing this one.
I'll make an effort to conceal it better this time.
You're not holding on. You're
And
not
we
holding
will-
on to it.
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, fine. After that escapade, keep the bloody thing.
And we'll avoid all members of the police department completely from now on, yeah?
Yes, I'll avoid all bodies, and I trust you to cut them down, and Auditor to be anxious watching the entire thing unfold.
You're welcome.
And sort of begrudgingly, thanks for getting me out of that bind.
Yes, well, in any case, as far as objectives, it seems like the best thing to do right now is compete. Seems like this conspiracy is focused on gathering relics. Again, I could not ascertain their purpose, but perhaps enough relics together, and the idea will become obvious in context.
Perhaps. We'll just have to find them all, won't we?
We'll have to find more anyway.
And I think that is an excellent place to end tonight's episode of the Tower of Babble. Let's go back around the table, talk to folks, see where we can find them elsewhere, and figure out where we're going next. So, the last is first. Kev, how you doing? Where can we find you?
I'm doing grudgingly good after today, but so much fun. Like, I love successes at a cost, but man, it was just non-stop. I loved it so much. Woof! I legit thought Asmodeus would probably die this. Like, not gonna lie, more of my own fault than anything else. I'm no stranger to characters dying, but man. And yes, hi everybody. You can follow me on all the social medias at KKutoVA. I run on my Twitch a Clone Wars 5e campaign, Revenge of the Crit, every Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. EST. Unfortunately, the next 2 weeks we'll be taking a hiatus, but in the meantime, we'll have all the playlists linked. You can find them up on my personal Twitter and Twitch linked below. But yes, please go check those out. And we got some really exciting stuff coming up in the next big arc. And yeah, and you can always find me here on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. PST to play with these lovely folks. So yeah, I hope to see more of you guys in the chat at my campaign soon. So back to you.
Fantastic. Cadence, how are you doing? Where can we find you? What'd you think of today's episode?
I'm doing good, though I'm really hungry for donuts now. And that's not good.
Wonder why.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Really should eat breakfast before you start an afternoon game, you know?
I know.
Lovely.
Otherwise, yeah, quite the game. I can be found usually just on Twitter at Magdalene Bloom. I flit in and out of other things, but not on a regular basis. I can be found at Party Wipe Games on Tuesday nights, about 8 o'clock Central, playing Vampire the Masquerade. Other than that, nothing right now except my annoying cats that keep wanting to come in and be stars of the screen.
I said this was going to be a game of cats.
Yeah, it's right. Yeah, it's right there on the game title.
Yeah.
Relics, a game of cats.
That's where you go. Amazing. And lastly, but absolutely not the least, Obi, how you doing? Where can we find you? What'd you think of our little episode today?
Well, I think this is definitely a very eventful episode, and I think for Auditor, definitely an example in, let's say, failing forward. Even the vaunted Nature Speed only served to get him in some of that their trouble. But
Just a little
yeah,
bit
if you're
there.
looking to find me out there on the internet, you can find me, of course, on Twitter at Joss and you could find me on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central for Revenge of the Gith. But we have recently had our fantastic series at twitch.tv/Valdrant. But we have recently had our series finale, so instead, I would recommend that you look to youtube.com/Valdrianth in the next couple weeks for that season to be put up on YouTube, to be perused at your leisure and for your pleasure.
Schmantabulous. Hey, folks! What a time we had today. I'm Matt, known on Twitter at the Killer GM, where I write about gaming, nerdery, various other sundries. When I'm not doing this, every other Sunday I am running a game on my own channel, Mathev7, Masked Sunset City. We just had a lovely episode this last Sunday where some big emotional beats got hit with our heroes, and some plans were laid bare as they must now contend with the immortal Rasputin for control of the Grigori. And we'll find out what happens on that. Not this coming Sunday, because of the way the schedule works, but next Sunday, the 27th, is when the next issue will be. Otherwise, you can catch up on the latest episodes on the Twitch channel at MattTuff7 or on YouTube. We could throw that somewhere, maybe at some point. We'll deal with that. It's a lot of fun stuff. And otherwise, follow these wonderful people. Keep up with them. See what they're doing. And,
Yes.
just follow them around because they're good storytellers. And we like to promote good stories.
And I might have donuts.
Thank you so. And you never know, they might bring donuts. They're the kind of friends that want to make sure you are very well fed. Otherwise, thanks very much, folks, for watching, whether it's live here on the VOD or over on YouTube. We don't have a story without you, so we're very pleased to have had you here. Otherwise, whew, what a time. But there is always one last thing, because I guess, I kind of built the brand off of it. We got a little bit of a stinger here. We cut to Catriel being driven in a car out of the city. Somebody hands her a phone, and hello. Yes, I got the soul gun back. No, the scepter was not at the police station. They might have gotten it. Yes. Yes, I know we needed it, but you can find another one, right? There are plenty of other relics. You just have to.
No.
Yes, sir. I understand, sir. Yes, I understand, sir. I'm sorry. All right. Yes. All right. I will wait for your instructions. Thank you, sir. And Catriel hangs up, and we see a flare of fire come out of the roof of this car, and the split remains of the phone land and tumble across the road as the car speeds off into the night. And with that, my friends, that will end us. Because while we are ready to weave the tale, you gotta remember, with the Killer GM, you can always bet your life on it. Good night, my friends. Good night.